Hello, my name is Jesse Dawson from the University of Glasgow in Scotland, and welcome to ESOC 2019. I'm here this morning interviewing Professor Rodgers from the University of Newcastle in the UK, who is the chief investigator of the RATULS trial. So, hello Helen.
Hi Jesse.
Good to see you. So, do you mind just explaining to me and the audience what the RATULS trial was?
So, the RATULS trial is a 3-group randomised controlled trial which has compared robot-assisted upper limb rehabilitation using the MIT Manus robot with an enhanced therapy programme based upon repetitive functional task practice, both of the same intensity, which was 3 times a week for 12 weeks, about 1 hour a session, and both were being compared with usual care. And then we've looked at outcomes at 3 months and 6 months, as well as doing cost-effectiveness study, and we're really pleased to be able to report the main results here at ESOC today.
Excellent. So congratulations on completing the trial. It sounds like a big trial, and it's a lot of work doing an upper limb rehabilitation trial. Could you maybe just explain to us what the trial involved for participants? How much treatment did they get, for example?
So we have 770 participants from 4 centres in the UK. So the centres are Romford in London, Northwick Park in London, North Tyneside in the northeast of England and Glasgow. And participants who were randomised to receive robot-assisted treatment or enhanced upper limb therapy attended a therapy centre for 12 weeks, and they had 45 minutes 3 times a week on the robot and a total of 1 hour for each session. And that involved doing repetitive task practice either on the MIT Manus robot or doing therapy practice with a therapy assistant and therapist 3 times a week.
Okay, and just one question about the design. I noted you mentioned there were 3 groups, so there was a robot group, an enhanced group, and a usual care group. Why did you have the 3 groups?
So we thought it was really important that we had a group that was getting current best practice therapy at the same intensity as robots, because there's been some suggestion in some meta-analyses that the reason why robot-assisted therapy has been shown to be effective is because of the increased dose. So that's why we've got a comparator group of therapist-delivered therapy of the same intensity.
Okay, and what did the trial show?
So our primary outcome was arm function based upon a success in the action research arm test, and unfortunately we are neutral on the primary outcome, so there's no clinically important difference found at 3 months between any of the randomisation groups.
Okay, and success, I think, was defined as a degree of improvement on one of the scales. Did you look at any of the different scales as continuous variables, so did you see anything on secondary endpoints? So
in terms of secondary endpoints, we've got some really interesting secondary endpoints. So if we look at our upper limb impairment, as measured by the Fugl-Meyer motor score, we have got improvement at 3 months in terms of both robot and enhanced upper limb therapy over usual care. And there was also a difference that persisted within robot-assisted therapy on the Fugl-Meyer scale at 6 months. In terms of other really important outcomes, we've got improvement in terms of activities of daily living measured on the stroke impact scale, in terms of enhanced upper limb therapy over usual care, but also, very surprisingly, enhanced upper limb therapy did better than robot-assisted therapy in terms of activities of daily living at 3 months.
Okay, so you saw some measurable improvements in impairment, but also some improvements with enhanced care in activities of daily living and functional outcomes.
Yes, we did, and and again, this is one of the largest trials ever done of this type of repetitive functional task practice. So it's really good that we have seen some benefits in favour of this treatment, which is great.
And in terms of the magnitude of those benefits, is there any inferences we can draw about whether any of them are clinically meaningful?
So we've got a number of statistically significant differences across a number of outcomes in the trial, but how we've interpreted the results is if the minimal clinically important difference is within our confidence intervals, then we've concluded that is a clinically meaningful difference, because some of the differences are small, but nevertheless we think they're clinically important.
Sure. Okay, so I guess disappointing that there wasn't an improvement on the primary outcome, but encouraging there were some changes on the secondary outcomes. How will we take that forward in terms of future research or changes in practice?
So in terms of robot, I mean, it's really great that there was an improvement in impairment that persisted beyond the intervention period. I think the challenge for people who are involved in robot-assisted rehabilitation research is how do you actually then translate that change in impairment into a change in function. So I think that needs to be looked at in terms of the next round of robot-assisted trials. In terms then of enhanced upper limb therapy, there are some really exciting results there that have implications for clinical practice. But when we've done our cost effectiveness analysis, that's not been found to be cost effective. So we need to look at ways in which that intervention can be delivered other than in a one-to-one setting in order to make that effective, and also to look at issues in terms of what the best dose should be.
Sure. Well, thank you very much. So congratulations, an excellent achievement. Is there anywhere that the audience could read about the trial?
Well, it just so
If you want
happens.
more information.
So we're really pleased that the Lancet are doing a publication, fast-track publication of this study today, and it will be available mid-morning today.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.